Well, hello there, ladies and gents. Robert Sykes, ketosavage.com. And today I am starting my competition prep, my 2020 keto competition prep. And I wanted to take today to kind of show you a little bit of my stats, what my starting point is, what my macros are, what my body fat percentage is, and just take you along on the ride with me. So, without further ado, let's jump into some of our initial stats here. So, of course, you got to get a starting weight. And this is with my scale, so the fat percentage is a little off. The water, some of these are just not accurate because it's just a bathroom scale, but I like having it just the same. So 141 pounds muscle, 177.5, I think, was the starting body weight. Here we have a little caliper test in action going on. I just invested in a nice medical grade set of calipers that I can calibrate and make sure it's always getting the same and accurate numbers. And I do the Jackson Pollock 7-point caliper test. According to the calipers, I was at 9.8% body fat. Generally speaking, the calipers run a little low. Got some body measurements, making sure we're tracking those stats all along the way. I try to do the calipers and the measurements every 2 weeks or so, just so I can kind of stay on top of things and make sure I'm trending in the right direction. I encourage everybody to do the same. And, of course, you got to have a little ketone and blood glucose test. So I was at 93 on the blood glucose, a little high in the morning, but that's pretty typical in the morning first thing for me. 2.2 on the ketones, so definitely in a steady ketosis. And here we go, some initial starting posing footage. So this is me at my current body fat percentage at the onset of my prep, week number 1. This is what I'm looking like at 177 pounds. And this lighting hasn't been tweaked. There's no filters on here. This is just as honest, raw, and real as it can be. I'm going to try and keep the lighting and everything under the exact same conditions each time I get these posing updates so that I know with certainty how things are getting better or worse, hopefully better. My last competition was in 2017, and I've tried to make a really primary focus of building up my chest. My chest has always been a lagging body part, so trying to bring that up. I feel like my legs have come up a lot since the last competition. I've always had a pretty good back. Like, my back's always been one of my best body parts. I feel like I've always had thickness and width there, so I just tried to maintain and build that, symmetrically with the rest of my body, but really focusing on the hamstrings, the quads, and the chest this past off season. And my chest is still small, but I feel like it's made headway, and I feel like hamstrings are still small, but again, they've made headway as well. So the arms and the back, triceps have always stayed pretty solid. But one thing I will say, I've got, like, not crazy, but legitimate feathering and pretty solid separation in my quads, and I am full-blown off-season right now. So that is one thing you don't see many normal traditional bodybuilders have, is feathering and separation in their quads in the off-season. Had to get a DEXA scan as well. I feel like getting the DEXA scan is the gold standard. I also want to take this opportunity to go over my macros and my meals just a little bit. Obviously the nutrition plays a massive role in all of this, and I feel like it's fair to y'all so you can see what I'm eating, why I'm eating it, what foods I'm hitting to, or what foods I'm consuming to hit these macro goals. So let me take you into my macro tracker. I use My Macros Plus as my macro tracker. So let's dive into that. All right, ladies and gents, we are in my phone, so get ready. I want to show you kind of what my meals are to hit the macros that I'm shooting for. So in the morning, I start with 2 cups of coffee, one right when I wake up, and then one after our morning meeting with the crew. In that coffee, I have 2 tablespoons of MCT oil and 6 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, and I split that evenly between the 2 cups of coffee. So that's how we're working that. That winds up being 58 grams of fat in the morning, basically doing like a fat fast. As far as meal 1 goes, I have this normally somewhere between 10 a.m. and noon. I wake up at 3 and train early, so this is still several hours after my training window here. So I have half of a keto brick, alternate the flavors, so half of one of the different keto brick options. 2 eggs and 1 ounce, so 28 grams of liverwurst sausage, 8 ounces of 85-15 ground beef, and 1 tablespoon of ghee. I typically just mix all that in one bowl and then add some hot sauce to it, and that's pretty much my meal number 1. For a snack, I've got bone broth here, but that's not all I have. I don't really don't know how to illustrate this in the app, but if you looked at a meal 2, we've got cod liver, and there's a lot of oil in that can, so I don't discard that oil. I want to get those macros in, so I basically take the oil that's remaining after I open that can of cod liver, and I pour that into the glass of bone broth. So I have that, which the bone broth is pure protein, basically 10 grams of protein, 6 grams of protein, depending on what brand you're using. And then I'll add that cod liver oil to fatten that up. Meal 2 is the actual meat portion of the cod liver, along with the other half of the keto brick, 6 ounces of venison, and then as far as that Colina, that's a yogurt. I believe it's a coconut-based yogurt. Daily totals, we've got calories. Let me just zoom in on that. We have 3,535 calories, 304 grams of total fat, 23 grams of total carbs, of which 12 are fiber, and 155 grams of protein. That winds up breaking down to a 79.3% fat ratio, 18% protein, and 2.7% carbs. So pretty high fat relative to protein and carbs for sure. All right, y'all, so let me just go over some of these numbers here now that we're back face-to-face. I've got my measurements for November 4th, which is the starting day of my prep. I weighed 177.5. According to the calipers, I was 9.8% body fat. Neck measured 15.5 inches. Shoulders were 48. Chest was 41.5. Arms were 15.5, unflexed. This is all the right side of the body. Waist was 33.5, hips were 38.75 inches, thighs were 24.25 inches, and calves were 16 inches. So, like I said, I will be tracking these throughout the entirety of the prep, probably every 2 weeks. I'll keep you up to date on how these numbers change. I also want to go over my DEXA scan. So, I got the DEXA scan first thing in the morning. I did not train that day, so that did not interfere with the numbers at all. I am 28 years old, and my total percent body fat, according to the DEXA, was 13.5%. So the calipers were 9.8. The DEXA, which is the gold standard, had me at 13.5. My lean mass in grams is 68,156 grams. So I will get a DEXA scan probably every 2 months. The place I go, they limit you to once every 2 months due to the radiation. So I will get this every 2 months, and again at the conclusion of the competition prep, and we will see how much my body fat percentage has dropped and how much my lean muscle tissue has dropped, if any. One huge benefit of going through a contest prep in a keto-adapted state is that your lean mass, it's pretty typical to lose a little bit of lean mass, but you don't lose that much because ketones are highly anti-catabolic, so you're able to maintain a lot of lean muscle tissue. I also found an Inbody location while I was getting my DEXA scan. It was 15 minutes away, so as soon as I got the DEXA scan, I went over and I got the Inbody scan. And interestingly enough, Inbodies are known for just being all over the place, but it was actually 13.5% as well, so measured the exact same body fat percentage as the DEXA. This has my skeletal muscle mass at 89.1. Skeletal muscle mass and lean mass are two different things. Keep that in mind. And it had my BMR, so my basal metabolic rate, at 1884. So basically, in a coma, I am burning 1,884 calories at complete rest. So you take in your basal metabolic rate, and then you throw in, the thermic effect of the food you eat, all of your NEAT, so your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, like just walking, fidgeting, all of that, and all the hormones and everything come into play. Obviously, the training you're doing comes into play. That's basically what winds up being your total daily energy expenditure from a caloric standpoint. Out of experience, I'm going to go over all this in much greater detail throughout the several videos that follow, but basically I've determined my average metabolic and caloric intake baseline to be at about 3,500 calories. So that's why I'm starting this prep at about 3,500 calories, as you saw in that My Macros screen share walkthrough. So to summarize, I'm starting my prep. This is week 1. I'm about to roll up my sleeves, take the gloves off, get to work. So I'm excited about this for a lot of different reasons. I talked about this in my newsletter that I published last week, but when I did my last competition prep in 2017 that I won my pro card at, had an awesome time doing it. I didn't have a coach. I just kind of like threw myself into it, blazed my own trail with how to do a ketogenic contest prep. And there wasn't, I mean, keto was not popular back then. I mean, it was just starting to gain some traction. And it worked. It was so much better, so much more sustainable. Just, I was able to bring a whole other package to the table that I could never achieve with the carbohydrate protocols. So I was super excited about that. And I learned so much, but I didn't really have hardly any audience. I had no followers, no subscribers. I mean, I was just starting. Like, Keto Savage was just becoming a thing. And nobody could really see the information, the content that I was putting out because, for one, I didn't really know how to put it out. And for two, the stuff that I did put out, nobody was seeing it because I didn't have any followers. So I'm excited to have a little bit more of a platform now, and the ability with like the cameras that I have and the audio equipment and whatnot, just to document this entire journey step by step and illustrate it to y'all so you can see how I go through a contest prep with keto and why I feel it's just far superior to traditional bro dieting methods, flexible dieting methods, just better. Like, your hormones don't take near as much of a hit. Your metabolism stays better. I mean, everything's just better. And the conditioning you bring to the table is on a whole nother level. And I'm excited to show you that because now that keto is popular, there's a lot more buzz around it, there's a lot more hype around it. You get a lot of bad information. And there's a lot of bad information, especially as it relates to competition and competition prep, because you've got people that have never done a competition before telling you how to do it in keto. And you've got people that have done a competition but have never done keto telling you how to do it in keto. So you got all this bad information out there. And I'm excited to just roll up my sleeves, get to work, and show y'all how it could be done correctly. So, not to say my way is the best way. I'm just here to say my way freaking works. And I'm excited to show you that. So, without further ado, I don't want to make this too long-winded, but I'm excited about this. This is going to be a journey. I'm excited to document this journey. I'm going to take a long prep. It's going to be like a 5-month prep at least. I'm probably going to do multiple shows. I haven't finalized and nailed down the exact shows I'm going to do yet. I know a few of them, but I'm going to come out and make all this known as I go. So sit back, relax, and enjoy what is going to be Keto Contest Prep 2020 edition. See you in a bit.